Yo, welcome back to Red Marker Radio, episode 4 with
What is up?
Jaden Julius Baker.
Jaden Baker here. All right. I'm not the intro guy. You're the intro guy.
I am the intro guy. Jaden is first dance company member on this one. I should probably also say that you're the first senior, first not graduated heritage student. So you'll be a lot more relevant than some of the other people.
Making strides in the podcast.
Yeah, I guess so. Dance company, ballroom company, musical performer, businessman, future businessman. And that's all stuff we will get into later. But without further ado, this is Red Marker Radio, episode 4 with Jaden Baker.
Lovely to be here with you guys.
So Jaden, let's begin with kind of, I don't know. I feel like this is more of the elephant in the room than anything that we have to talk about. But dance company
Okay, I was
is
like,
something
is
that,
it, is it
yeah.
dance company? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you're the first non-host dance company member that we've had on this podcast. You know what I mean?
The first
So,
non-us dance company member,
yeah.
if that's a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, just highlight that a little bit, like everything from the bottom up, basically, from everything from the early days of dance.
Yeah,
to
like
where
when
you
you
are now.
started dance. Yeah, when you started beginning
Okay.
to finish.
Yeah. Well, initially I started dance in 7th grade. Funny enough, because I wanted to join ballroom, but obviously admin wouldn't let a little 7th grader join ballroom. So they said dance would probably be the next best thing. I could get used to the movement. I could work on just getting used to working with people, dancing, the motion of the music, essentially. Because before that, I had never done anything really fine arts related aside from playing cello, and that's much more stiff than especially like Mr. Ray's choreography. But moving on from there, I just learned to love it. Quickly fell in love with the sport. Yeah, just climbed the ranks. I took, I think, 2 years of dance 1 year of dance 2, 2 years of dance 3, and then just this year made it on to company. The first guys in my time at Heritage that I know of. I think there was only one other guy that's ever been on the Heritage Academy Gateway Dance Company. So
Yeah, that's
pretty
kind of
exciting
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, just even seeing you before dance company, it's obvious that you would have made it in anyway. I don't know. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I will have to say there's been a lot of improvement in the time that I've been in the dance department. Obviously my dad didn't say this right after my first concert. He said it a few years after the fact, but he said that after my first concert, I looked like a newborn deer.
What is that? Oh, I was like, what is that
Super
mean?
long
Okay, I
limbs,
got it.
very
Yeah.
uncoordinated. Nothing seemed to be working right, but every single year I seemed to be getting better. I would always ask Miss Sell, Miss Woods, Mr. Ray, whoever was teaching. After every class, I would try and see, like, what could I improve on? How can I do better? What things do I need to really focus on to make my dancing just that much better for where I was at that point?
Yeah. Are there any like funny stories that you have? If not, that's completely okay. But are there any funny dance stories that you just know off the top of your head?
Being a guy, there's just a lot of interesting things, I guess you could say, that go on in the dance room.
Yeah.
Especially when we're trying on costumes. Like, everyone gets so excited because they get to wear the flowy dresses or the flared pants or like this and that. I just get sweatpants and a t-shirt. That's about it.
Yeah.
Based outfit.
Yeah. And then aside from that, I think just hanging out with Mr. Ray is a vibe on its own.
Yeah.
I will say the one time that we did an all boys dance, that was definitely an experience. It was a lot of very interesting humor back and forth between like David Rosenbaum, Brody Eager, and Mr. Ray, and I was just kind of there for the ride. Gavin was also there, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think he
Yeah.
was there because I remember that a little bit.
Yeah. I think this year is the only time we've beat that year's record, and that was already a ton of boys. But
Yeah.
I think now this year we have obviously myself, we have Austin Layton, Logan Kiesler, Creed Ricks, and Jaron Brinkerhoff. That's
And Brighton, CV Bronson, Mika, and Jack Peoples.
those two.
Yes.
Yeah, we're there too, or whatever.
Yeah, no. What would you say is your favorite performance or like favorite show or favorite dance that you've done in recent years?
That's a tough one.
I know. Yeah.
Honestly, I think my favorite one recently has been I'm blanking on the name right now. Yeah, My Prerogative.
I got it right. Yeah, I got it right.
I know exactly what the
got it
movement is, but
right.
I can't remember the name of the song. Yeah, My Prerogative was one of my absolute favorites.
I feel like such a beast for knowing the name of the dance.
It's probably because I talk about it,
Yeah,
if
because
anything.
he talks about it all the time.
You know what one you never talk about? Kill the Lights.
Okay, that's
That
a,
one gave you nightmares, but that's
that's-
a story for you.
That is a story for later, but that is pretty funny. Okay.
I think My Prerogative was just something that, because we had begged Mr. Ray that entire semester for a jazz piece, and when he finally gave it to us, it was so much heavy choreography, but we loved it so much that we just pushed through, and I got to work with Afton and Cassie, and like everyone on the Dance 3 team was just so well put together, despite there being almost 30 of us in a single class. But we were so well put together, always working hard, always doing our best. It just made for an incredible year. And that dance, because we wanted it so badly, I think made the entire concert for us.
That makes or breaks it. Yeah. I can say for like band, if all of the band members are like, yo, we should totally play this song, and it like doesn't work or something, like it's bad, and then Keyskin goes, okay, whatever, let's play it anyway. We find the sheet music, we get the rights, we buy the rights, all the stuff, we end up playing that song, and it's like we played that the best we could, simply because we had the will, the want to actually do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and
I
at the
understand.
hoedown, you guys did absolutely incredible with all the music. I think that really did bring a lot of hype to band. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of forgot I did that. Yeah. I didn't really know those songs because I didn't have sheet music for them. So when I had the keyboard, I went home to snag the keyboard, and then I went back to school, set it up on stage, and learned them 20 minutes before the actual concert. I messed up countless times, but no one knows. So it's just in my mind. So no one really cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think band did great, and I think that is just a precursor to how band will do in the future. Our band concerts, pep band, all that, all of the representation that band will have, foreshadowing. I think band's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Kind of on that note, but still on the dance company train. Obviously, you have a very interesting team this year. Like a very just kind of
it is a
top-reaching,
wonderful lineup. I'm
Yeah.
so happy to be working with all of these incredible people.
So what do you have planned this upcoming year? Because obviously, before this, we've kind of talked about like some traveling things and just other things. So what do you know about this upcoming year?
So I know we've already had our first performance of the whole year at the Hoedown. That was super, super fun. Everyone was so stoked to be performing in front of, I think it was like 200 or 300 people. So it was quite a good audience. I think we are planning on performing at a couple basketball games, football games. I'm not sure where we landed on AZ Dance Fest. We might have cut that one because of scheduling conflicts, but we do have a lot of things regarding just like sports. I think we're doing Constitution Night too. Obviously all the concerts, you guys should go. Dance
guys should
concerts
go.
are going to be incredible.
dance
We got this
concerts-
guy running lights.
The dance
That's right.
concerts are one of the coolest, the coolest concerts that happen. No, they're the coolest concerts that happen in the entire year. I can even say that. I'm not in dance. Well, I'm not legally in dance, whatever. But I can attest that the dance concerts are so super, super. They're special, and you don't find them anywhere else. So
They're special for everybody too. The dancers and tech and the audience, because it's a whole experience. So
yeah, it's
this
very
is
interactive.
Brighton, what is it you say about it being a light show?
Oh yeah. Well, for me, it's more kind of like, oh, it's just a light show
And
that you
this
get
guy,
to watch. Yeah,
this guy, this dude said the other day, if there were no dancers on the stage and it was just lights, he would be equally as entertained if there was not a single person on stage. And I was like, yeah, he would be in the booth absolutely balling.
I hope you know
on
this
the
is
mixer.
going to Mr. Ray.
yeah. Please, Mr. Ray, if you're watching this,
He's not saying that the dancers are bad. He's saying that his lighting is good.
Know that the dancers are great, and that's why I love watching them. Also, you can't have the lights without the dancers, but the lights are awesome, and you should make them super cool this next
Yeah,
concert.
the lights really are what make or break all of the emotion during a dance. It's such a
in any
cool,
performance.
surreal experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's insane.
On the subject of performing, you also have
Yeah.
Ballroom Company, which is a completely different thing. Baller Company, yeah. It's a completely different thing, a very different concept.
Yeah.
Taught by a different teacher, different people, different concerts. And ballroom is very unique because it's not offered at many places. And
Yeah.
so, what is ballroom like for you?
Well, Ballroom or Ballroom Company?
I guess both. Maybe start with like general ballroom.
Okay. Ballroom in general, as I said earlier with dance, I've always wanted to do it. Dancing with the Stars had always been like something that I just loved watching with my mom as a little kid. And so growing up, being able to do ballroom as like a high schooler, I thought it was simply incredible. It was just such a long time traditional sport where you could be with your partner, have that physical and emotional connection, and it's just such an elaborate elegance that I've always wanted to get into, and now that I'm in it, I never want to move away from it. It's definitely something I'll be doing with my wife when we're like 70 years old in the living room.
Yeah.
I want to see your wife watch this podcast.
Oh my god.
No, not
Yeah,
not,
the pause
Hold on,
between
hold on.
wife and watch was too long. I want to see your wife. Watch this podcast.
We'll get that on a t-shirt. If
Anyway,
that becomes a big enough thing, we could get that on a t-shirt, Red Marker merch. I don't know. Anyway, Ballroom Company. Looking at that's kind of
Yeah.
like,
yeah, Ballroom Company this year is something special. So we have kind of two different groups, I guess you could say. There's the Senior Six, where we're primarily focusing on competition technique and everything that we need for that. Fia and I are particularly focusing on the BYU competition that we'll hopefully be going to in the spring. That's going to be incredible. We also have the full Ballroom Company on Wednesdays. We have 8 couples, 16 people in total. I think we might have a couple other. I'd say it was 16 at the beginning of the year. We might have added a few people. Yeah. But as we previously stated, like the Hoedown, we had our first performance ever of the year before September even started. Like that's almost unheard of for ballroom performing in the first 1 or 2 months of the year.
Right.
I think everyone enjoyed it too, because we had a good mixture of, it was a country song, we were doing tango, and there was line dancing all built into the same performance. So I think that really got the crowd pretty hyped up.
It was pretty cool. Some of the breakdowns in that song were fresh. They were pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah.
And I think something cool about that is Miss Davidson really likes to, she really likes to know what the songs mean, what the artists, a bit of their background, so that we can know what they're doing, what they're saying and meaning behind each of their songs. And this song in particular, Boots by Brooke White, was something that I thought was really interesting. And I started listening to all the other music by Brooke White. Come to find out, she's not only an Arizona resident, but also a member of the church, which I thought was pretty cool. All of her music is super clean and makes for a good country feeling time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also, Davidson, if you're watching this, because we didn't want you to go unnoticed as well, You should also make your ballroom lights super cool.
Wow, I bet he was thinking about that the entire time Jaden was talking. He was probably like, crap.
Brighton is looking for a challenge. Let it be known.
That's right. I don't know if this is speaking of challenge, but looking at some of the things that you're looking at in the future, obviously you were talking about you want to continue ballroom, but as far as your career, you have that sort of planned out. I mean, as far as your role in kind of the business world,
Yeah.
how are you going to go about doing that?
Well, I mean, obviously I have to graduate. That's number one. After I graduate, I'll be going on a mission for 2 years. After I get back, ideally, before the fall semester starts, and ideally also at BYU, I'd love to go to BYU studying business, specifically business administration, and getting my MBA through BYU and their Marriott School of Business. That would be simply top tier. Always wanted to do that. Hopefully it happens. I'm actually working on my application now. But after that, I'm not exactly sure where I want to go or what company I want to go into. All I know is like business is what gives me my passion,
Your
and
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working, not working with the numbers necessarily, but working with the people, the strategy behind the business, finding the little secrets here and there and how to work the system. Like business is very much is like a big game of chess. Everyone is moving pieces. Everyone wants to win. And the best part about business, unlike chess, is everyone has the chance to win all at the same time too.
Yeah. Do you have like a preview of what you want to do in business as far as like starting your own business and what kind of field you want to put that entrepreneurship towards?
Yeah. So I do have, I don't know necessarily how I'll get to this end goal, but I do have an end goal. I like to call it my profound project. Profound being kind of like the name of just all of my dreams and like hopes and wishes. Like that's just kind of the bundle that I put it under.
Right.
But ideally, I'll have just a massive plot of land. And on that plot of land, I'll have a little area with cabins and camping sites and all of that people can rent and go to. There'll be like rolling hills, forests, maybe a little stream, a pond, things that people can just enjoy. It'll bring joy to all of the families that come through there. And then in another area, I'll have this French style chateau that I'll be able to rent out to like schools for their dances or weddings or any big fancy event. And it's going to be absolutely beautiful with, I'm thinking like white marble walls and nice, luscious vines kind of flowing through grow boxes out of the windows. And then in another area, I'll have, well, I guess sort of adjacent to the cabins, I'll have an area similar like what we do for the Fine Arts Retreat that I can also rent out to schools, where it'll have a bunch of cabins, a dining hall, just places to create the exact same activities that we have loved for so many years at our high school. I want to make it possible for other people too.
Yeah. Please invite us if you,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably show up anyway, but invite us to do maybe a live episode there and we can just have an audience of people.
That would be quite the next step.
That is the
wouldn't it?
next step. That is a very in the future thing.
Yeah. Do you have a plan on where you want this to be, like the area of state, if it's in the United States? I'm assuming it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
it would be in the United States, ideally somewhere around the middle of the country. Like between Utah and Arkansas, I've seen a lot of really good like mixture of mountains, streams, forests,
Yeah.
and
there's a whole lot of land that has not been. I'm not saying all land should be
Yeah.
claimed, but like
but it's fairly undeveloped.
You're right,
around
exactly.
there. Like there's
a whole lot
land
of
to be
nothing.
had, and I'd love to create something out of it.
A whole lot of money to get that to work. Whole
Yeah,
lot of money.
That's why I say I don't quite know how I'm gonna get there, but someday I will get there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just know it.
And if anybody else watching this podcast wants to do something similar in the future, I mean, what is one piece of kind of just wrapping this whole episode up? What is one piece of Jaden Baker life advice that you would give to someone who wants to be as ambitious and like high reaching as you?
I would say the one thing that I've kept throughout every single bit of my life is keep moving forward. No matter what people say, no matter what happens, you could be on the top of a mountain feeling great and everything is going your way, or you could be 80% up, dying, hard hard to breathe because, climbed almost all the way up. But no matter what, you just have to keep going, have to keep putting that next foot forward, because it's really when you stop that all of the pain starts to seep in. When you keep moving, you have, even if it's painful, even if you're slow, if you just keep moving, you'll always be progressing.
Yeah.
1% better.
Yeah, 1% better every day really does wonders. Another
Perfect.
thing I would say, no matter what, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for advice. Everyone wants you to succeed, especially if they're your friends or your teachers. Like, everyone thinks if they ask for help, they, for some reason, are going to be weak for it. But really, it shows strength. And when you are able to ask for help and you keep moving forward and you combine those two ideas, nothing can stop you. You can achieve anything and everything you put your mind to.
Perfect.
Nice.
Well, that concludes episode 4, Jaden Baker. A little bit of a shorter episode, but don't worry because, Jaden's most likely going to be helping us a little bit in the future. And so you might see him later.
There were a lot of things we didn't even need to talk about on the podcast because everyone knows them anyway. You know what I mean? There are a lot of things.
Hopefully
on
that's
this.
not the case in the future because, if you want to be on the podcast, we want you to actually have a say in what you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But this was great. And now it's time to sign the red marker picture thing.
All right. I guess where do you want me to sign?
Anywhere, maybe right there
space, like.
to just complete the symmetry. Yeah. There we go. Until we meet again.